Chair lays out House Bill 4494 by Representative Toth and calls on him to explain his bill.
Chairman, members, thank you. It's late in the session, and what I'd really love to do is have a discussion with you tonight about something that Texas has not really looked at very carefully over the years, but I hope that we will create a dialogue over the next interim and consider. When I came to Texas in 1997, I was surprised at the way we tax homes through an appraisal district. That was new to me. In the past, the people that I voted for had to stand before me and raise my taxes. And now I was under the guise that all of a sudden unelected officials through an appraisal district would be determining what my taxes were on my home. It was surprising. And so I said, don't laugh, I came from New York. And but I got here as quick as I could. But one of the things that New York does well is you pay taxes based on what you paid for your house. And there is no additional fee, there's no transaction fee. The taxes are based on what you paid for your house. I got a call from a woman almost a year and a half ago. Her name was Kathy Young, and she said, Steve, she said, I'm 72 years old. My husband died 2 months ago, and he had a job working for the Woodlands Township. And between our Social Security and his job, we could put food on the table and pay my property taxes. But she said the property taxes just keep going up and up and up, and the people that I elect keeps telling me that they lowered my taxes. They keep saying they lowered my taxes, but my taxes keep going up. And it's because of the appraisal system. And the neat thing is that the people of the Woodlands did a GoFundMe page and paid Kathy Young's taxes. But the reality is that we can't do that for every elderly couple in Texas. We've got to come up with something that is more static and less dynamic in the way that we factor taxes for all Texans. And this process would do that, price paid. And I think it's something that we need to discuss. We can withhold the knowledge of price paid to the government and the government alone, so that it would not become public information, but would offer, I believe, a lot of relief to people across the state of Texas. Ask for the opportunity to close.
Okay, members, any questions? If not, we will call on you and recognize you to close.
Thanks, Chairman.
Thank you. Chair calls.
Good evening. I'm Cheryl Johnson, Galveston County Tax Assessor Collector, speaking for the voters of Galveston County as well as myself. It's good to see y'all again. And this bill does my heart so good because I've supported this for probably the last 10 years. And it's something that people don't really want to talk about as probably the best reform that we could do in Texas to get you out of the business of having to listen to complaining property owners and get about the other business of the state. I'm a fee appraiser by profession before I was a tax collector, and true market value only occurs when there's a meeting of the mind between a buyer and a seller. And HB 4494 will provide protection for Texas homeowners by preserving the market value, that agreed price that everybody agreed it was worth, at either the 2019 value or the price paid. It will end the annual, what I call taxes two-step, occurring at the county appraisal districts every spring and summer, and the taxation of unrealized capital gains on every Texan, and particularly for homeowners. I would love to see this expanded too, but I will take this as a start so that y'all can see that it will not destroy the economy or local government, and the governments can really get by. Passage will uphold the protection of the Texas homestead promised in the Texas Constitution, and it is clearly your prerogative and authority to define market value for these properties, and that can be recently found in the Supreme Court decision number 150683, in which Justice Brown very eloquently said, you are the ones that define what market value is. That's your authority. It isn't anybody else's, and the Constitution doesn't require value at market value. It's what you say market value is. This week, you passed a bill, and thank you for this, that will allow voters to have control over how much their taxes are or how much government is spending. Passage of this bill will take it one step further and also put them in control of how much their taxes are when they buy their home. We have a very regressive tax system in Texas. Doesn't matter how much money you make. And I know when we built our house at $50 a square foot 20 years ago, and the taxes were $3,000, we never imagined in our wildest dream how wise we would have been and ended up with a house worth nearly $400,000 with a $7,000 tax bill. We don't know that we're going to be able to keep that Texas homestead. And we built this house for our family and hope that we can keep it. A bill like this will protect the Texas homestead. Score a win for Texas homeowners, and please pass this bill out of committee.
Okay,
Y'all have any questions?
Members, any questions? If not, we appreciate
Thank you.
that. Chair calls on Representative Toth to close.
I'd love to tell you that I called all these people and asked them to be here tonight. I didn't. I think this is a reflection just of the frustration that Texans have with the current system. I have a friend back home that he said, Steve, I built a toe tag house. That means that Judy and I wanted to be carried out feet first. We built it 3 years ago at the cost of $750,000 between the land and the building. He's a builder. And Montgomery County Appraisal District came in the very first year and said it's worth $2.8 million, even though there isn't even anything close to that in the area. And it forced Chuck and Judy out of the house in 1 year. This is affecting people of all levels of the economy. I shared with you a story at the beginning of this thing of Kathy Young that had a $160,000 house. It forced Chuck and Judy out of their house. They ended up selling it a year and a half later, not for $2.8 million, but for $1.6 million. They were forced out of it by a bad appraisal. I had another constituent that said to me, Steve, he said, I don't have anything in the market. I'm in real estate. In 2017, I had 4 houses. 2 of them were, the appraisals went up 10%. 2 of them, the appraisals went up 15%. The following year, the 2 houses that went up 10 went up 15. The 2 houses that went up 15 went up 10. All 4 of them went up 25%. And that was a magical number that I heard throughout the county. I have a rental property. It's worth $160,000. This past year, the appraisal district raised it $60,000. It's crazy what it does to small businesses. It's unthinkable. It's unconscionable. The comptroller for the state of Texas said that we're going to spend next biennium almost $1 billion across the state of Texas. Local governments will spend $1 billion funding appraisal districts. In Montgomery County alone, Conroe Independent School District will pay $4 million this year. It's not $4 million going into the classroom. It's $4 million that they're going to pay to the Montgomery County Appraisal District. That's the bill that they're going to pay. $8 million per biennium that could go towards lowering property taxes or could go towards paying teachers. We need a better solution. I think this is the start of something really great that I'd love to work with y'all on. Thanks so much.
Okay, Representative Noble has a question, I believe.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm curious. Our first home we bought in 1985, the market crashed right after we bought it, and we were upside down in that home for 9 years. We would have been paying, according to your bill, higher than the value of the home for those 9 years. Is there I don't see a solution. I was looking through your bill, solution for market downturns.
The government isn't there to bail you out in the event that you make a decision. Go figure. That's how it is in almost 30 states. But here's the deal, Representative. You still have elected officials. They're going to answer to you. And you still can vote them in and out of office based on what they're doing with property values and how they're assessing and how they're taxing you. Right now, you, in a similar situation, very often, they get to say, well, I lowered your taxes 1%. Yeah, but you raised my value 9%. That's an outlier, what you just shared. Yes, it does happen. Yes, it does happen, but the rule of thumb is the exact opposite.
Thank you, Representative. I know you're very passionate about the issue and visited many times about it, and so thank you very much for bringing it up.
Thanks for your consideration. I appreciate it, folks.
All right.